Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate studio. With me today is Seth Geis, and from the Bastani studio, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Oh, not too bad.
You know that old saying you get taught as a kid, the little nursery rhyme? It's April snow brings May snow. Yeah, that's where we're at right now.
That's how
You have
I
snow?
remember it.
Every damn day it seems like.
Good Lord, man.
Hmm.
Really? Shit.
Really.
All right.
It
So
was
today
it's like 80
we,
something degrees today.
yeah. So today we're talking about the My Father La Union Black Prominente Especial. This is not the right picture. So let me stop this here and get you the right picture.
I was like,
Uh,
man, that looks
This is what
funky.
happens, man.
yeah, these
And
are
we'll talk about
confusing.
it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Some of the confusion and folks, for folks at home, we're professionals. Like we've done this hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of time.
Yeah.
And
I blame Jim. Jim
we
messed us
chat
up.
about it in our group chat, and we clarified, and we double checked things, and we still had issues because I think there's just, unfortunately, there's a little bit of confusion. I understand the intent behind it, but I think there's just a little bit of confusion. A little too clever. There we go.
Here we go.
There it
So
is.
this is the cigar that my father made for Tatuaje in this kind of collaboration. So cigar's a 109 style, 7/4 by 50. Comes out of the My Father factory in Nicaragua. Wrappers Ecuador and Habano by Henry Filler, both from Nicaragua. Price point $60. Cigar was released in February of 2024. So with all that out of the way, Seth, what was your overall experience like with the cigar?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the first third really opens up lots of red pepper qualities. Earth, dry mineral clay, tobacco, leather, medium full to full. Um, and it really just kind of, to be honest, remains that way. I felt throughout. It keeps that red pepper quality with the mineral earth spices, tobacco, and leather. Still medium full to full. Final third has a little bit more mineral notes. Still a bit drier. A little bit of balances off, but just kind of smokes that way from beginning to end. Burn was a little bit average. I think there was a couple times where it was off first third and final third. Decent draw though. John?
I thought it started out okay. Sweet tobacco, light baking spices, a little bit of creaminess, which was nice. And then the spices kind of moved up to medium full, and they were kind of bleeding into the post draw, so kind of heavy on the palate. And then they kind of reduced back down to light plus, which is a nice break. Little mild cinnamon detectable in the retrohale, kind of lingering again on the post draw. And then kind of at the halfway mark of the first third, the spices kind of wrapped back up to medium and stayed that way for the rest of the third. Second, third, kind of creamy, sweet wood, a little bit of baking spices, a little bit of wood, a little bit of mild graham cracker. Quite a soft profile in the second third compared to the first third. Wood kind of took on some dryness as it progressed, and the profile is mostly the same for the rest of the third. And then last third, baking spices kind of medium strength again, actually up to medium full at points. Wood still on the post draw with dryness, and then there's kind of an acrid earthiness on the finish, and that kind of faded away and then got replaced by dry wood. So, not the best final third, but kind of saved itself there at the end. Burn had some waviness to it, and then eventually required a touch up because it was just really, really like a strip of wrapper was not burning. And then cigar kind of went out halfway through, requiring a relight. So that was a bit of a drag. As is the case with a lot of cigars these days, it seems burn or the draw, pardon me, was quite resistant. And then as I kind of got partway into the first third, it kind of opened up. So overall, the draw ended up being good, but still with some resistance. So, woo, there's a mouthful. All of that to say, pretty average experience was my overall takeaway. Aaron, what about you?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with lightly creamy toasted cedar, black pepper, and light earth. A bit of a light chalkiness and some mustiness joined a bit later. Second, third saw the toast level increase a bit, and then the final third saw the toast level become heavy and some wood bitterness joined in that later transitioned to a vegetal bitterness and then to a vegetal mintiness. So all those transitions in the last third going on. Um, the cigar had a nice start. Had a good combination of flavors, but from the second, third on, profile dropped a level as the toast became heavier and the bitterness and the mintiness kind of joined in that final third. So not as good of a showing as I would have hoped for a cigar of this prominence and this price point. And definitely not. I mean, not much different for me, I guess, in regards to the Tatuaje version. But I know that's different for you guys. But yeah, just not a cigar that really lives up to the price point on this one. So getting into the scores, we're going to start at the top with June, who wasn't able to join us tonight. He gave it a 6.1. I gave it a 6 even. John gave it a 5.5, and Seth gave it a 5.15. My score matches up well. It's above average flavor profile. Construction is really good. Just had a wavy burn, nothing really serious. But yeah, it just gets to that 6 mark, which is definitely not enough to justify coming back to it, especially at that price point. John, 5.5.
Yeah, it matches up well. I also had an above average flavor profile, but combination of the burn issues and the draw issues, which I'll get into a little bit more with the price tag, kind of held it back. So, as you said, even if it was at 6, I think for me it'd have to be probably a minimum of a full point, maybe in a point and a quarter higher to justify coming back to it. And I'm not even sure that would be enough, honestly.
All right, so 5.15.
Yeah, I mean it's I wasn't impressed. I think it's bigger more just to compare the two of them. Yeah, individually it wasn't big hit, man. It's kind of tough when it's made for someone to get into that. So that's I think when I kind of get into the comparison aspect.
Yeah, go for it. Let's get into it.
Yeah,
so
man? Gosh, man, that was a big drop. I mean, I know yours went up and it was pretty close, but that's a big drop for 3 people. So
yeah, I mean, I guess first of all, I'm profoundly disappointed. I mean, I don't know if you can have a cigar meet the expectations for $60. But I mean, listen, I'm not the kind of guy to complain to a manufacturer, whatever, but if I was in a lounge with this cigar and I had that draw and I had that burn, I'd probably be asking for a replacement or my money back. Because and we've talked about this in the past where obviously there's some higher price point cigars, and I don't think that's acceptable on a $20 cigar. I sure as hell don't think it's acceptable on a $60 cigar. And I feel like this is not me. You've set yourself up for this. When you hit a price point that high, there's in my mind there is zero room for any error on burn or draw. Like if it's a wavy burn, whatever, people complain about that. It's really not an issue. But if you actually have a cigar that goes out or a draw issue on a $60 cigar, man, it's just not okay. It's just not okay.
Yeah, I mean, Seth, you were like a point and a half higher on the Tatuaje version. John, you were like a little over a point higher. So,
yeah, I mean, it was a big jump. It was a big fall down. So
I honestly expected them to be
close,
pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, look, the 100 Años,
almost to the point where, to be honest, I thought they would be. Not identical,
almost they start with a different wrapper, right?
But I was like,
I figured they would just
have
be
a couple modern, little variations that weren't that big of a difference, and it was to the point that maybe you would just prefer one or the other, and that's how they'd get you to spend $120 rather than spend $60. But now I think people should spend $120 just to see the mass differences, and I think it is noticeable.
I kind of figured my father would be a little more intense, a little spicier, and obviously Pete's version would be what it was, which was a little more sophisticated, a little more nuanced, which is how he blends. But like I said, the natural comparison is the 100 Años, which was a spectacular cigar, and it was $13. Yeah. So they know how to blend a good cigar. So not to be rude, but why didn't you just take the 100 Años blend and just make I would have been happy if that was the 100 Años blend. I would have been like, okay, you know what? Tough to justify $60, but at least it was good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I mean, I'm a My Father fanboy. I've been smoking them. It's like one of the first all this series of cigars that I really got into, like the Le Bijou I was smoking for like a decade before uh Cigar Aficionado were clued in. So, like I don't know, man. Baffles me.
It's
Oh.
it's a bust.
Isn't there 4 blends? I think there's 4 blends.
Yes,
Isn't there?
so these are the ones that came in the black humidor.
Right.
Now they're supposed to be the ones that come in the red humidor later in the year.
Right.
So they'll each have their own blends again. So we'll have to see what that looks like if we
I
explore
will
that.
say, have you guys seen the humidors in person?
No.
Because the
Oh,
humidors
I did see because they did show them off in
TV?
23, right?
Oh, that's
At
right.
the
They
trade
did at the
show.
trade show.
Yeah.
The humidors are like killer. Like they're like yeah, I mean they're premium, really, really nice. I got to see it in person. I was like, okay. If I owned that humidor, I'd be pretty happy. I mean, would I pay for that? I don't
But as
know.
they say, you can't
But
smoke
it's
the box, right?
You can't smoke the box. But it looks pretty good. And I'd imagine there's gonna be some huge fanboys out there that are gonna want to pick that up.
Sure. All right. Wherever you catch this video, be sure to like and subscribe, but check out the full written review on the website, developmentpalace.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.
Prominente